So Ruslan's church's pie chart with that 1.2 million in expenses is what they call being transparent and accountable with donor giving dollars. There's no detailed financials, there's no revenue, there's no accountability. When I pointed that out, that this isn't real transparency, this was his response.
Yeah, I think that some pastors do need to be more transparent. I have no qualms with that.
So you would agree that pie chart that you guys have in there is transparency?
Yes, I think it's phenomenal.
Okay.
I think it's great. I think it allows people to know where the money is generally being spent.
Generally being spent. That is a very loose term. Who defines what generally is?
We define what generally is. The church defines what generally is. And if they don't like it, they can ask questions. If they don't like the answers, they can find a different church.
So there's no, this is
so my
there's
question
no
is,
accountability.
there is
if you don't
accountability.
like our answers, find another
No,
church.
there's accountability to the boards. There's accountability in relationships. There's accountability with folks that are the core of the church. There's tons of accountability.
Well, if you don't like our transparency, then you can find another church. Think about what that means. If you don't like how we handle your money you gave, then kindly get lost. That's not shepherding a flock. That's managing consumers. And it reveals something much deeper. An authoritarian culture that mistakes control for leadership, for biblical leadership. When a church tells people to leave instead of listen, it no longer is guiding, it's gatekeeping. That posture says, hey, we're untouchable, we answer to no one. And that's the opposite of what Scripture calls leadership to be. The Bible describes leaders as servants who are above reproach. That doesn't mean beyond questioning, it means living in a way that welcomes accountability. To be above reproach, you have to stand up to scrutiny, not silence it.
I think we have adequate transparency.
Who defines that adequate transparency?
Each local ecclesia can define their own systems, and the congregation can work within those systems.
You have to hit a certain tier and be involved at a certain point.
You have to build maturity. You have to build trust. You have to build consistency. You have to build unity. Yes.
So who defines all those? You do.
I think your definition of transparency is everybody knows everything.
No, my definition of transparency is the literal Merriam-Webster's definition. Yours is unity and trust and maturity.
I said the anchors of transparency or unity and trust. So you can be transparent.
Anchor to transparency. Transparency is just being transparent.
When people of faith ask for transparency, they're not being rebellious. They're being responsible. They're trying to protect what they see as sacred from corruption. And like you said, all institutions eventually corrupt. A pastor who tells his congregation, if you don't like it, leave, is protecting his or her own power, not the people. Real leadership doesn't fear questions. It invites them because accountability doesn't weaken the church. It strengthens it. It's time to stop calling control spiritual authority, because authoritarian control doesn't look like faith. It looks like you're protecting something and you're afraid. It's using God's name to protect your human power, the cultural institution we now, for some reason, call a church, in the current status quo. True authority serves, true authority listens, and true authority, whether in the church or anywhere else, always chooses transparency over tyranny. Jesus says in Matthew 23:27, "Woe to you, you teachers of the law, you Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of the bones of the dead and everything unclean."